again, you can just do this and you can search the scene and it'll show you everything you can interact with, but I've been trying not to do that. It doesn't, I don't think it penalizes you. But we just picked up a pointy stone. And over here is a gentian.
Siberian gentian leek. Seems to be the only plant that flowers around here. I have no idea if it is under protection, but it is so pretty that I would really like to make an exception and leave it in one piece.
Well then, good thing we picked up a spade, because she doesn't want to pull it. So we'll dig the whole thing up.
I know. They're under the protection of nature conservation laws. I'll be very careful.
Well, not if you only dug once. I don't know much about gardening, but my granddad would slap you if he was around. And now, if you can see here, we've got a hole that's smoking.
That stuff stinks. It looks and smells like there's sulfur coming out of there.
Let's put the grate on there so we can smoke something. And let's melt this down. Yeah. Yeah. Quickly now.
Through heating, the water and the resin have mixed. The resin is almost runny now.
Nope. Pick the grate up again. We want that grate. And go back. I'm good at adventure games. Now, we picked up a pointy stone so we can
Not really the
sharpen these
superlative
scissors.
in whetstones, but these scissors can't get any blunter. And how's that? It now cuts more than butter.
And we're going to use these sharp scissors, believe it or not, to steal some of the reindeer hair. It's fur.
Easy there, boy.
Yoink.
It reeks a little bit, but it's relatively soft.
I wouldn't fuck with reindeer. Those things are vicious. Right. Now, earlier, we picked up some twine. And we've now got a wisp of hair. And can you see what we're doing now? If you can't, we're making a brush. So there we put the spoon.
If I take the spoon, the hairs, and this thread, and I... Hey! It works! It will never be a masterpiece of contemporary art, but it will serve its purpose admirably.
Of course it will, Nina. Okay, well now we've got a brush. We should put some resin on it. And now
The resin is still runny enough to paint with.
We can now paint with the brush. Now, why would you do this, Alex? Why would you do this, Nina? Well, there is a reason. If I can work out where it is. There it is.
The fire hasn't completely destroyed the parchment, but it is pretty charred and brittle.
Well, we can't just pick that up. It'll destroy it. Instead...
If I paint the resin very carefully over the parchment pieces... It worked!
We now...
5 parts of the source of life, 2 parts of root of tears,
Have a
1
recipe.
part blood of the night, 3 parts drops of intoxication, to be taken shortly before it unites with the wind. What effect it is supposed to have isn't noted, just as much as how to get each ingredient.
Well, it's vague enough that you're like, ugh, but luckily, I know. So, there's some obvious ones. Where is our... Oh. No, that's because I haven't given it. I've got to give him the recipe.
Hey, old man, wake up. Is this the recipe?
There we
for
go.
your
That's what I was
medicine?
looking for.
It really does seem to be the recipe. The old guy wants me to prepare it in this vial. I'll have to hurry preparing his medicine. He's not going to hold out for much longer.
Nina here, noted fucking medical doctor. So now we've got a vial. We want, what was it? 5 parts the source of life. Well, that's water.
5 parts from the source of life. Got it.
And we've got a nutcracker in here. Then we take the flower.
Well, that must be the right doses, depending, of course, on the bulb being meant as the root of tears.
Now, Blood of the Night is this is where it starts to get to a bit of an adventure game stretch, but we did pick up some
Ketchup is made
ketchup.
of tomatoes. Tomatoes belong to the nightshade family. That could be the connection to the Blood of the Night reference. I'll try it.
And we also picked up some vodka.
A few drops of the intoxication.
Now, let's put the debris there. And then light a fire for the old man. And put the grate back over there. And mix up this homebrewed recipe.
Hopefully this witch's brew doesn't blow up in my face. I have no idea when the stuff is ready, but before it all evaporates... Evaporate! That's it! To be taken before it unites with the wind. Then the medicine must be finished.
Then pick it up, Nina, you dumb bitch. Right, let's give Evenk, no idea how we know his name, unless Evenk is like a...
Drink, old man. I hope that helps.
My wedding vows.
Thanks.
My pleasure. What happened?
A little difference of opinion with the guards.
Guards? From the research station?
Yes, Oh, it's not important.
Not so important. You nearly died.
But I'm alive. And you aren't just here to help me, are you?
No.
You have some questions.
Yes.
Yes. How did you know?
Your eyes betray you. The eyes betray everyone. And your eyes, I know your eyes. They were
That's,
here once
Matey
a long
Boy's voice
time
actor.
ago.
Me? I was most certainly not.
Yes, they were. But they weren't in the body of a young woman. You're the daughter of... What was his name again?
Vladimir Kalenkow? You know my father?
No, he
Yes,
just cold read you, dude.
Vladimir was his name.
He just cold read you.
He came to me back then, like you are today, with the same eyes.
That's my
I
favourite
need your
joke
help.
in
If you knew my father,
Adam's Family.
then you can also tell me what
He's
happened
got his
here all those
grandmother's
years
eyes.
ago.
Put those
I'm
back.
only a shepherd. I've always been a shepherd, and I will remain a shepherd for the rest of my life.
Shepard is one of the greatest heroes of the galaxy.
I know my place in life, and you should know yours too. Listen to the words of a simple man. My son didn't listen to me.
What do you mean?
You want to know what happened here almost 50 years ago, and what is happening here today.
Yes, but the
My
cutscene
son
will
was
probably
also
skip.
curious. He didn't want to listen to me. He found a strange piece of metal in the woods, and he asked questions. The wrong questions to the wrong people. I never saw him again. There are things that we are just not meant for. If we don't realize this...
Old man, your words may be very wise, but my father is in danger and I need your help.
I know. I can see it in your eyes. You really are just like your father. I also warned him, but he didn't want to listen to me either. He entered the cursed realm of the Ogdi, the evil thunderbirds that have been sent to cause endless sickness since the year of the great catastrophe. Your father ignored my warning, and his companion must have paid dearly for it. I know that I cannot stop you, so I will tell you where your father had his camp back then. Follow the northern path until you reach the swamps, and you will find what you are looking for. But always remember my words. Be careful in everything you do. things happen here that
I'd
no
love to
one
go to
can even
Tunguska.
begin
I
to
really would.
imagine.
And just poke around. There's nothing there anymore.
The Event was right. The atmosphere here is real strange. So unreal. Even if perhaps a good portion of superstition is involved, I have a strange feeling here. And then the story with the Thunderbirds and the endless sickness. Pull yourself together, Nina. You're just exhausted. There are no Thunderbirds, and any phenomenon, no matter how mysterious, can be explained rationally. Hopefully.
And in she goes.
That must be the site that the old man spoke of. My father started his expeditions from here. Maybe I'll find an explanation here of how the events of the past link with the kidnapping of my father.
And we are now in the Forbidden Zone, blasting into outer space, the planet of the apes. Evolution's just one hero, the Forbidden Zone. Tunguska Region. The older Vank is feeling much better. He talks about his son, who headed to the area of the crash site despite his warnings and found a strange fragment. Later, his son suddenly disappeared. The Evank talked about Nina's father, who also didn't listen to his warnings, and Perez had to pay dearly for it. He also warns Nina, but should she turn around now when she is so close? Well, we literally can't go back, so welcome to the Forbidden Zone. Okay, there is actually a path at the side of the house that we're going to go down first. We are in Tunguska. I'd love to go to Tunguska IRL, but I don't really want to go to that particular country because it's not great. But there's an oil lamp we can see right here, so we'll snag that, put it in our infinite pockets, and there's a hose we can snag because it's an adventure game and everything that is not nailed down. And we can look at this generator.
A generator, supplying the hut with power.
And then pop down the path. Ooh, it's a truck wreck.
Wow, what a monster. I have to ask, even if I'm talking to myself, how did that thing get here?
Right. There's a wheel rim there.
This has been plundered. Everything that can be taken off and carried is gone. There are only 2 small nuts here, and I am having them.
Okay, now somewhere around here is the fuel tank.
There still seems to be a bit of diesel oil in there.
Okay, so let's take our hose, shove it in the tank, and then where's the tank?
There's still plenty of vodka in there. If I want the one spirit, I think I will have to get rid of the other. Nastarovia!
Yep, we are getting hammered in the middle of the woods.
I think I'm a bit out of practice.
And that's fine, she'll walk it off. We now have a bottle with diesel fuel. Do not drink that, Nina, for God's sake. Again, if you were playing this and you didn't know what to do, it would just be a case of just touching literally fucking everything until something combined with something. Okay. We want to go back to the house now. We want to go back to the front. And then let's put that in the Jenny.
That's what I call quality craftsmanship. Over 50 years old, and it still works like it did when it came out of the factory.
And there is, you see that coil there? You want to use these nuts.
I'll hold both nuts close to the coils, but not too close, otherwise I'll be toast. As a result, they seem to have become magnetized.
Again, I'm skipping some stuff here, so if you were to examine...
If I remember correctly, then that thing has something to do with magnetism and producing electricity.
Sometimes I've skipped over the examining bits and bobs because I just, doing what I am in the Forbidden Zone. And now we want to explore this house and just pick up random shit. Don't worry, I know why I need it. Okay, Okay, so over here is a glass shard. Pick it up carefully, Nina. I once I cut all the skin off my fucking palm of my hand and my fingers and cut my fingerprints off picking up broken glass. When I was like 3 or something. I dropped something and I didn't want people to know I dropped a milk bottle, so I tried to pick up all the shards because... Okay. Now, if you look at this window...
The small windows are absolutely filthy.
And we just picked up a rag, so...
Inside, the windows are almost clean.
Ah, I guess we'll go outside then and clean it.
As an obedient little housewife, of course I know what my duties are. There, finished. Shall I make dinner now as well?
Oh, sassy adventure game protagonists.
I know, the window is not completely clean yet, but that will have to do it for now.
Now we want to put this rag in the
rag
oil lamp
is soaked through.
to get a saturated rag. And if we look at this chimney over there...
There is nothing special to see, but then again, it is pitch black in there.
Let's put...
I'll light the lamp.
Ooh,
I can't see or find anything special.
really now? That's some aluminium foil. Now, if we use the saturated rag here...
I would never have dreamed that one day I would clean out a chimney from the inside.
It says 7.5, 3, 10.5.
Now that the suit is off, I can see numbers written on it.
That's a 6, apparently.
7.5, 3, 10.5, 6.
Because everywhere we go in adventure games is a goddamn puzzle. Right. Exit. Now let's look at this compass. Oh. Oh. Oh, sorry, that's just giving me riddle clues. I don't want riddle clues. If we boot this...
The button must have a purpose.
Nothing will
But
happen.
what? Nothing happens.
Right. So we want... We've magnetized these nuts, right? We've got to move this needle using the magnetized nuts to get the positions from the scratches on the fireplace. So anyway, let's put one here. And one here. And boot.
That's strange. Obviously, the compass needle only moves when I press the button. I seem to have triggered a mechanism, but nothing has happened yet.
So there's one position. We want to take this one, put it over here, and boop. And then we want to put one here, and I think I've done this right. Mm-hmm. And then one last nut. Here, nut. Boop.
A secret compartment.
A hidden thingamajig. Stick your face in, Nina.
There are a few old documents and a roll of film in there. I'll have a look at the documents. Maybe my father left them there. Yes, indeed. He
Yes,
describes
indeed.
that the 1958 expedition apparently could not provide an explanation why the plant growth has changed so much here since the catastrophe of 1908. The discovery of a meteorite, hoped for by the government as a cause of the devastating explosion, also did not materialize. For this reason, neither my father in his function as the leader of the expedition, nor the biologist, Ken Morangi, could provide an unambiguous conclusion, which obviously was not regarded favorably by the authorities. Oh, and they are also briefly mentioning Oleg here, but apparently he was not that important. I guess I'd better not tell him that. Years later, in his function as a geologist, at the Academy of Sciences in Moscow, my father examined a strange piece of metal that had been found in the Tunguska region. He then was able to prove its non-terrestrial origins, which breathed new life into the meteorite theory. However, upon further analysis, he and his colleague Manuel Perez discovered traces that indicated that the metal had been worked. When they wanted to publish their discovery in the Kalenkov Expert, it was completely, surprisingly rejected, and they were forbidden any further examination of the rock. When my father continued to inquire about the happenings in the Tunguska region, he was dismissed from the Academy of Sciences. The last entries are from 1977. Obviously, he and Manuel Perez went to the Tunguska region on their own. They hoped to find additional fragments of that strange material so they could continue their studies. What the goal was and what happened isn't written down in here. In addition, I have this burning desire to know what is going on with this fragment. On the one hand, it's probably not of terrestrial origin, but on the other hand, it was processed. That would mean... The old Evank also said something about his son finding some metal fragment in the woods and then suddenly disappearing. That would fit in with the fact that my father was even thrown out of the Academy of Sciences due to his analysis. I hope that I will find some more answers on that roll of film.
Well,
An old film reel. There must be something exciting on it because such an extravagant hiding place was chosen for it.
Indeed. Let's put it on the convenient projector here. We're going to use the light to... Yes. Come on, you know what I'm talking about.
Damn, the bulb has burned out. It's not possible to just pop around to the shops and get another around this place. So now is the time to think of something else.
Well, we've got some aluminium foil and a glass
I've
shard.
wrapped the tin foil around the broken glass.
Yes. And that will make a bulb.
Yep, that should work. Since it's rather dark in here, the light reflected by my modified glass shard should do it.
So, Manuel, the camera's rolling.
Please excuse me for a moment. I'll be right back.
Cutscenes are as glitchy as ever.
Manuel!
It's Manuel, not Manual. Didn't even try with the voice acting. Oh dear. Well, that's
What
horrifying.
was that? Lightning? Or sheet lightning? And what happened to this Manuel Perez?
Oh dear. That was
That
a
sounded like an explosion.
explosion.
I should see what's going on. Looks as if half the station exploded.
Oh no. It's the shadowy figures. And they're doing something to our mind.
Come on! Move your asses! The intruders have to be around here somewhere. We'll get them. Spread out.
Oh, my head. What was that? Feels like someone sifted through my thoughts.
There's someone up there. Get them.
Damn. I have to get away from here.
Run, Nina. Lag your way through the cutscene. Yeah, that happened. That's logical. That's logical.
Thanks. That was close.
No problem. I told you that I would catch you if you were ever standing on the edge of a precipice. What happened? We just saw that some areas of the research station were in flames, and suddenly there were soldiers everywhere.
I don't know much more either. Suddenly, two strange figures appeared in front of me out of nowhere.
And they
From
read
the
your mind.
FSB?
No, they weren't agents. I'm not really sure. This may sound kind of stupid, but I'm not even sure if they were human.
That's
What?
creepy.
I don't know how I should describe it. It was more like a feeling that I got from them.
What did they want? Did they say anything?
They didn't really speak. It was more like voices inside my head. It was as if they were looking for an answer.
What kind of answer?
I don't know how to describe the feeling. It was as if my head was going to explode. I've never experienced pain like that. And then suddenly, I knew that I wanted to tell them everything. It was suddenly so clear.
Mind
You
control.
told them everything?
No. Before I could say anything, the soldiers came, and the two figures disappeared as suddenly as they appeared. Where are we flying to anyway?
In the meantime, Sergei has found
Yes.
out that your father was never in Moscow. So it almost looks as if the entire trip was pretty much in vain.
No, on the contrary. I'm now sure that my father was kidnapped for some reason that has to do with the Tunguska catastrophe.
How come?
I found some of my father's old documents. If I haven't misunderstood them, he was on the trail of something big, and I have a name. Manuel Perez. He was with my father back then, and we also know approximately where he is now.
Yes, in a mental institution on Cuba. Great lead.
It's gotta be worth a try. And there's another name on the list. This Irish biologist, Ken Morangi.
That's right. I know that I have already asked a lot from you two, and am deeply indebted to you. And I would understand...
Oh, can you fly a plane by yourself?
Stop rambling. What's your plan? You're heading to Cuba and I'm heading to Ireland?
You'd really do that?
You can pay me back some other time. For example, by buying me a cup of hot coffee.
Max, you're a sweetheart.
And don't you ever forget it.
Cutscene, please. We're going to Cuba and Ireland. Well, there was Ireland. That was quick. Oh, welcome to Cuba.
Oleg, I'm not usually like that. But what should I do? Besides you two, I don't have anyone who could help me. And if my father...
It's okay. We enjoy helping you, honestly. So don't worry about us. Concentrate on your dad.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. We already found the psychiatric hospital. I only hope that this Perez is still here.
Why shouldn't he? But first I have to take care of some formalities. Will you be okay without me?
Sure. I can manage the 20 yards to the reception desk by myself. Go on. I'll be all right.
Okay. See you later.
And if you see the woman dancing in the window in the background, that'll tell you everything you need to know about this game's representation of the mentally ill. Okay, Tunguska Region. After a huge explosion in the research station, Nina is suddenly confronted with strange figures in black robes. They don't say a word, but she has a feeling she can hear their voices loud and clear. These are... If you're expecting little green men, you're going to be disappointed. The second you saw the game and it said Tunguska, you should have thought aliens. That's why I originally brought the game, and these are your aliens. The trail in the Tunguska region ends here, but what about Vladimir Kolenko's former companions? Nina heads off to search for Manuel Perez in Cuba, while Max picks up the scent of the Irishman, Ken Morangi. Yeah, this bit feels a bit fillery. There's a gatekeeper here. We could look at him.
I wonder why such a small and remote psychiatric hospital needs a doorman. Especially since there is no parking available here.
I'm not going to talk to him. Not yet, anyway. I'm going to go through this arch. There's a drill there, and there's a... Yeah.
He's just taking a break. Completely atypical of a construction worker.
Anyway, we want some wood. Come on, Nina. Pick up the wood.
The logs are pretty busted up. Whoever split the logs obviously valued power more than precision.
There's a door here and a door here. I want to go to the kitchen, which I'm hoping is this way. It is. Good. I guessed correctly. Right. There is a fork somewhere. There it is. A meat fork, apparently. Yoink!
A long pointed meat fork.
There is an onion
A braided onion rope.
I want. Not quite sure how she reached that, but there we go. We've got an onion. There should be some sausage tongs. Very weird name for these things, but I guess. And a soup ladle as well. And there are some weights here. I'm just picking up puzzle pieces. But again, if you were playing this blind, you'd just go through and you'd click on everything with a little left click symbol so you can interact with it.
Small brass weights.
Okay. We want to enter the asylum with the dancing nurse. It reminds me of an idiot.
No wonder that many men harbor fantasies about nurses.
And this game's representation has been pretty rough so far, and it's going to continue.
Good afternoon.
Hello?
I'm looking for a man named Perez. Manuel Perez. He's supposed to be a patient here. May I speak with him?
Perez? Yeah, he's here. And who are you?
I am Nina Castro.
Oh, good cover,
I think
Nina.
It would be better if I did not tell the whole world my name. As long as I don't know who's behind my father's kidnapping, it's better to be too careful than not enough.
Sorry, you can't come in here without a special permit.
But it's really important.
Important? It's really important for me to keep my job and my health. And naturally, my incomparable good looks. That's what's really important.
I'm
Yep.
not asking you to release him. I just want to talk to him for a second.
Listen up, darling. Now that Mr. Gartuso has the say and Nicole Charleroi was put in charge, we all have to really watch ourselves.
Especially when the...
Massimo Gartuso? The American billionaire with the
laggy-
gigantic mobile phone company?
That's the one. And in Cuba, the saying goes, whoever pays decides what's for dinner. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Well, yes, actually, we can talk to you. We'll ask her about the music.
The music sure is loud.
Yeah, great, isn't it? I just got the disc and I've been listening to it nonstop for the last 3 days. It really keeps me going. It even makes it fun to clean. Actually, I wanted to be a dancer, but the market in this region is pretty saturated. So I had to invent a new discipline, rhythmic cleaning. I clean to the exact beat of the music. It also helps fight fatigue. I came up with it a few weeks ago and have been perfecting my technique ever since.
Please don't
We'll
crash
see.
game.
Maybe if politics doesn't pan out, I can maybe offer a few courses
Politics?
for housewives. I think the demand for it is probably pretty high.
Yeah, I bet it is.
Let's ask about the asylum.
Massimo Gartuso has bought himself a mental asylum in a sleepy town in Cuba. Don't you find that a bit strange?
I have my own theories, but I'd rather keep them to myself.
Come on, it could be really important.
Please don't crash.
Nothing is so important that a person could end up like...
Yes?
Nothing. Don't you think rhythmic cleaning would be a great business concept?
There are so many weird things happening here that I don't know where I should start being astonished. I have the feeling that it has to do with something real big. Unfortunately, my feelings do not tell me what that is.
Let's ask about politics.
You said something about if politics doesn't pan out, you're a politician?
Not yet, and I stress the word yet. There is an election in 2 weeks and I want to run.
As a politician?
Yeah, sure. Anything against it?
No, of course not. So you think you have a good chance?
Yes, I think so. I am staggeringly gorgeous, and I have already, let's just say, convinced 20% of the voters.
Oh,
But I don't want to be just one of many. I want to be the next female mayor. Unfortunately, I still need some more votes for that, but I'll get them. If only I knew how to get them.
oh. You want to jump straight to being the mayor. How modest. What's your election platform?
Platform? No one reads it anyway. The only problem is that I just have 2 weeks and I'm still behind 120 men.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's cutting it close. Maybe you should try getting a platform after all.
Oh, it's much too expensive and no one is interested anyway. I just have to be able to convince more people all at once of my qualifications is all.
You mean...
Yeah, well, do you have a better idea?
I'll think about it. If I think of something, I'll let you know.
A gangbang.
Are you afraid of your boss?
Me? Why should I?
I just had the impression.
It's misleading. It's definitely misleading.
She does want to talk. All I have to do is tickle her a little bit. The boss isn't even here, so you have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, that's also what Pedro thought, but then...
And then?
Nothing. Leave me alone.
This Nicole Charleroi is pressuring the workers to such a degree that they are almost shitting their pants from fear. I hope I won't have to clash with her on top of everything else.
Well,
Then I'll leave you to your hip swing again.